Who hasn't heard of The Conjuring, the most famous horror movie in history? Millions of viewers have screamed in terror at its story, but the scariest part? It's all based on real events. Today, I'll reveal the real story behind the movie, including the details that never appeared on screen. The movie added drama, tension, and suspense, but the truth is far more terrifying. The real-life events force you to confront the limits of imagination. And trust me, the human mind can create horrors far more terrifying than any movie scene. Welcome to Once Upon a Horror, where we explore 100% true horror stories. Today's tale is about the Perron family, whose haunting inspired the Conjuring series. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like, and check our second channel for more terrifying content. Link is pinned in the comments. Now let's step into the darkness. And remember, forget the movie for a while. What you about to hear is the story of a real family and the horrifying events they endured in their home. In Harrisville, Rhode Island, in 1972, the Perron family consisted of 7 members. Roger Perron, 35, father; Caroline Perron, 33, mother; 5 daughters: Andrea, 13, Nancy, 12, Christine, 10, Cindy, 8, and April, 6. They were looking for a large yet affordable home, somewhere spacious enough for the entire family. After searching, they found a beautiful old farmhouse on the outskirts of Harrisville, isolated and surrounded by nature. The house seemed perfect: 14 rooms, a pond nearby, and serene surroundings. On paper, it was a dream. Caroline dedicated herself entirely to her daughters, caring for them, playing with them, cooking meals, and giving them the love and attention any parent could imagine. Roger worked long hours, often away selling jewelry, leaving Caroline alone with the children for long periods. The family moved in with hope and excitement, unaware that the house held a dark past and a presence that had haunted it for centuries. Almost immediately, the Perron daughters began noticing strange occurrences. Footsteps at night when no one was walking, doors slamming and creaking on their own, mysterious knocks and scratching sounds, cups rattling in the kitchen without cause, appliances breaking constantly, especially the water heater cold, drafts that seemed to follow them, and sudden horrifying odors of rotting meat appearing without source. Caroline initially dismissed these events as natural house noises or coincidences, but soon she herself began experiencing unexplainable phenomena: objects moving from their places, strange scratches appearing on her body while asleep, the sound of claws or nails on copper and metal surfaces. The house's activity intensified daily, signaling the presence of something malevolent. The daughters confided in their mother that they were seeing a ghostly woman dressed in an old-fashioned gown. She appeared nightly, staring at them and whispering words they could not understand. The girls described her in detail: worn, gray gown from centuries ago, distorted posture, neck seemingly broken, a malevolent presence that filled the room with terror. Caroline tried to rationalize this as her daughter's imagination, but the phenomena grew impossible to ignore. She began to hear sounds, smell the rot, and see objects moving without explanation. The house had a dark history. Bathsheba Sherman, a woman accused of witchcraft, lived there in the 1800s. She had lost several children and was rumored to have performed dark rituals. The house had carried her malevolent energy ever since. The events escalated quickly. The daughters saw ghostly figures in the garden. Objects flew across rooms, doors locked by themselves. Threatening whispers filled the hallways, and cold spots and sudden drafts made the house feel alive with malevolence. Caroline tried seeking help from the local community. She learned that previous families had experienced similar terrifying events, some even dying under mysterious circumstances. Desperate, Caroline contacted Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famous paranormal investigators. The Warrens confirmed her worst fears. The house was infested with trapped, malevolent spirits. The energy of Bathsheba Sherman lingered, furious at anyone who entered her home, and several generations of families had suffered similar horrors. The first exorcism attempt began. Andrea, the eldest daughter, secretly observed the session. What she saw was beyond belief. Caroline's eyes turned completely black. She levitated slightly above the ground. Her voice merged screaming and laughter simultaneously, and objects shattered around her uncontrollably. Even with the Warrens' expertise, the spirits could not be expelled in a single session. The Perrons were trapped, forced to live with the haunting for years, under constant terror. For 9 years, the Perrons endured apparitions walking through walls, poltergeist activity, phantom scratches and injuries, unseen forces attempting to harm family members, and whispering voices calling their names in the night. Caroline and her daughters lived in a constant state of fear. Objects moved without explanation. Their lives were dominated by sudden shadows, cold spots, and terrifying voices. Every night brought a new horror. The daughters described nightly visits from Bathsheba. She would stand over their beds, whisper their names in a chilling tone, and appear as a withered old woman with no legs and an extended, bloody hand holding a cloth. One night, Caroline awoke to a painful sensation in her leg. It felt like a needle or pin piercing her skin, but no source could be found. This mirrored the legend of Bathsheba, who had allegedly killed a child centuries before using a sewing needle. The hauntings were relentless. No object, room, or corner was safe. Caroline investigated the home's history. She learned that Bathsheba Sherman was born in 1812, lived on the property, and practiced witchcraft. She lost children under mysterious circumstances. Rumors circulated that she performed dark rituals and sacrifices. She died of sudden paralysis in 1885, leaving behind a legacy of fear. The house had been haunted for over a century, and the Perrons were merely the latest victims. Even after the Warrens attempted exorcisms, the spirits remained. Caroline would occasionally exhibit uncontrolled levitation, violent outbursts, voices not her own, and shadows and entities moving around her. Despite everything, she never harmed her children, showing a terrifying contrast between human control and supernatural influence. The family remained trapped in the house until 1989 years of terror before they could finally leave. Andrea pursued a career in the paranormal field, documenting and assisting others facing similar hauntings. Even today, visitors report strange footsteps, whispering voices, objects moving, and cold spots. The house was purchased and renovated, but new owners fled in terror, leaving the legacy of Bathsheba intact. The story of the Perrons is far more terrifying than any movie. It's a tale of haunted generations, restless spirits, and the unexplainable horrors that lurk behind closed doors. So what would you do if you found yourself living in a house like this? Could you survive 9 years of daily terror? Or would you flee, just like the new owners? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Tell us which part terrified you the most. If you dare,